It's a rabbi that keeps trying to forget about it. I know about it. Just ignore it. Yeah. Just don't come back losing, that's all. Well, I almost gave up.
Oh, why?
It's 8:16.
Oh.
So for sure Ernie would be there by 8:16.
Well, now it's 8:16. You heard that Mike got died, right?
Yeah. I heard he was very bad the last couple of months.
She called last night. When I saw her name on the phone, I knew what was going
Oh
on.
shit! Yeah. I was there a little over a year ago, and he was getting better. He was talking, and so it was very encouraging. And then I heard, like, all of a sudden, just poof. Yeah, not good.
I don't know how old he was, but he wasn't as old as me.
No, I think he was maybe 75, maybe 76.
I don't think so much.
You don't think so much, really?
I don't. But maybe I'm wrong.
And we'll find out, but very sad. How many grandchildren does he have? Do you know?
From one daughter, 2, and from the other one, I think like 3.
Yeah. From Yael?
No, from the other 2.
2. Oh. And Simone 3?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello, who's there?
Johnny's here.
Oh, there you are. Hi.
Yep.
We were talking about Michael.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I saw him before I left for here, maybe about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't too responsive.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but then. And he tried to raise his face was a little swollen, his cheeks, and then his eyes were like, they're like also swollen and a little bit shut. I don't know. It didn't look good. Unfortunately, unfortunately, it was imminent what happened.
I mean, like I was telling Mario, I saw him like a little over a year ago, and it was very encouraging. He was talking, and it was like he was improving, and then boom.
Unfortunately, that happens a lot with cancer patients. They appear when you think things are moving forward, and then all of a sudden it just goes backwards. Yep. What Daf are we now? 35?
Yeah.
Yeah. How old was Michael? Do you know?
I don't know exactly. I would guess. You know what? I'm 74. Probably 78 or so. 70.
Oh.
No? Not even?
Maria thinks he was younger.
Younger than us?
I don't know.
Then I don't know. I don't know. What's the difference? Right. So you like what's going on in the Middle East these days? Jeez.
It's funny. CNN was
Yes.
bemoaning the fact that he was a moderate. He was
Yeah.
working on. He was working on a ceasefire. Give me a break.
Also, everybody at the Wall Street Journal also says that he's a moderate. What moderate? Full of
I don't know.
crap.
The Wall Street Journal lately is weird. It's like
You know what the difference? I saw. You know what it is?
what?
The editorial staff is very pro-Israel,
Yeah,
but the writers of the articles are not as
yeah.
much.
I see a lot of Arab names in the articles.
Yes, they're always
Lot.
sharing with
Never
somebody.
before. Yeah.
Yeah, but editorial stuff is always very pro-Israel. So today,
Well,
what they said today was great. The
I
editorial.
didn't see to. Did I see today? Oh, I did see. Yeah, but he gave it over to his son to run, this Lachlan Murdoch. So he's much more liberal.
Okay, maybe I don't know, but
I know. It's very upsetting.
What is upsetting?
About the Wall Street Journal, the articles are very sympathetic to the Palestinians. The editorial's not, but the way the articles are written, like they said, this guy, the guy who was killed in Tehran, he was a moderate. A moderate terrorist? What's a moderate terrorist?
yeah.
So they were criticizing the assassination?
No, but
Kind of like boohoo.
Also, they never failed to say occupied Garland Heights.
Yeah.
No, they have to put that in.
I never saw that. All of a sudden, I'm seeing it now. Where did that come from?
I don't know. We annexed it.
I read the Wall Street Journal every day. I mean, virtually every day. And it always seems to me to be very pro-Israel.
The editorial stuff, Ernie. The editorial
so.
articles. The editorial stuff is very pro-Israel, not the actual articles. Dov Lever, he writes a lot of them. Dov Lever, is Jewish, obviously, but it's not that much of he's pretty liberal himself. And like Harold says, a lot of they're always co-written with some Arab.
It's much better than the Los Angeles Times.
No comparison.
I mean, I couldn't. I canceled I couldn't read it anymore.
It's unreal. Yeah.
I'm trying. I mean, it does have Palestinian-based articles sometimes. But not many of them. I mean,
Oh.
anyway. Okay, so we're on 35. Lamed Hey. We learned the principle called the Alim Gvar. That means if two people are contesting over something, and they both have proof, so whoever is stronger wins. That's called the Alim Gvar. Whoever takes possession of it, holds on to it, he has possession. That's what called the Alim Gvar means. That's what Rav Nachman says. So the Gemara wants to know then, what about Shtei Shtaros Hayotzim B'Yom Echad? Two people come with a contract that they bought this field, the same field, with the same date, and there's no way to establish, which one has priority. It's the same day.
Where are your state doors? Where is it?
We're on Lamed Daled Amud Beis.
Lamed Dalet or Lamed Hey?
We're about to go to Lamed Hey, but we're the last.
Lamed Dalet. Okay, fine.
Lamed Daled Amud Beis is Shtei Shtaros Hayotzim B'Yom Echad. Lifanenu, and it's in court, two shtaros. Al Sadeh Achas that belongs to Reuven, Shekosav Shtar Matona L'Shimon, and there's a gift document that says that Reuven gave the land to Shimon, Ushtar Matona L'Levi. And there's a star that says, I'm giving the field to Levi, Ushneim B'Yom Echad. And it's all on the same day. V'nimtza she'ein zem muchzak yoser mizeh klal. Neither of them is more muchzak than the other. V'afilu nizbarish Shimon b'shachar v'Levi achrav erev. Let's say we determine that that Shimon got it in the morning and Levi got it in the afternoon. Ein akdama b'shos el Yerushalayim. The laws of shtaros relate only to the day, not to time. The only time that time, 10 in the morning versus 2 in the afternoon, works is Yerushalayim. Like we sing Ksubis. But in other cases, it's just based on the date. One doesn't get one, there's no zechiyah one over the other. So Rav Amar Yachloiku, you divide it. Ushmul Omar Shuda de Dayonim. Shuda de Dayonim is a principle, which means, the Dayonim will look at the case and decide on their own, based on their own common sense. It's not based on halacha. Shuda de Dayonim means the decision of the Dayonim, the way it appears to them. Like Rashi says, la'oso, or Rashbam, la'oso sheyeh note leva dayonim. If, let's say, the heart of the dayonim are turned one way or the other, for example, Shimon is a relative and Levi is not. So they might make the decision, it makes more sense that the matana was given to the relative. So the question is, why here don't they say kol da'alim gvar? Let one of them take possession of it and he has it. So why is that different than the case that we had in Rav Nachman about, each one saying the land belongs to their forefathers?
So, and none of these guys are on the field itself?
No.
Nobody's muhzak on it?
No.
Okay.
No.
And there's no chazoki at all into this either?
Not in that case. They show up to Bezdin with a star.
Okay.
It's mine. And now Bezdin has to deal with it. So Rob says you divide the field. And Shmuel says that the Dayanim will decide maybe based on other factors. But the question is, why don't we say Alim Gvar here? So the Gemara says, Awesome, milsa. By the star, there is no way to prove which one was earlier. It's both the same day. The doubt will remain, and you have to come up with another way of resolving the problem. But by a case of this guy says, I inherited from my father, and this guy says, I inherited from my father. Other evidence may show up. Someone will find Eidim. Okay. What about the following case? Hamachlif paro b'chamor. You do a kinyan chalipin. I have a cow in Los Angeles, and Mario has a cow in Montana. So we learn there's a din chalipin. We can, he'll give me his handkerchief here in Los Angeles, and with that sort of fictional kinyan, he acquires the chamor, and I acquire the para. So you can't pick up a para, so you do kinyan chalipin. Now, the para gave birth, or hamoicha shivcha suviyalda. An owner sold a shivcha, and she gave birth. Ze oimer achla macharti yalda. The original owner says, no. Before the sale is when she gave birth, so the children are mine. The ze omer no mishlakachti yalda. No, gave birth after I acquired it. The din is yachloiku. Again, they divide it because there's no way of establishing exactly when it happened. So they divide it. Now there also, why don't we say called the alim gvar or shuda de dayani? The Gemara says hasam lahai isle jor de mamoinu lahai ulahu isle jor de mamoinu. Each one has some form of attachment to this asset. There's a little bit of ownership. So therefore, Bezdin gives half to each. But by these other cases, it's one or the other. Either it belongs to him, it was his forefathers' land, or it was his forefathers' land. Idamar lo damar. If it's his, it's not his. Idamar lo damar. So you can't, so therefore, if you divide it, one party is going to be given something that Bichlali has no connection to. Okay. Amri Nardor. Imba echad min ashuk. If a third party, not Ruvain and not Shimon, a third party, Yehuda comes, vehechzik ba, and takes possession, ein moitzin osom yodo. We don't take it away from him. The Tani Rabchia, Gazlan shel Rabbi. Somebody steals something from the Rishus Rabbi. We don't know who he stole from. Lav Shmei Gazlan. He's not really called a Gazlan. He's not required to return it to any specific person because we have no way to determine that. So here as well, neither of these people have full proof whose karka it is. So this strange guy who came in and was muhzik in the land, you can't get rid of him. But Rav Ashi Omer, no. La'olam shmei gaz. Somebody who steals from the public is a gaz, and we take it away from him. So what do we mean, umay lo shmei gazlan? What do we mean? You can't call him a gazlan? Shalom nitin li shavam. You may not reach, there's no way to return Hashavas, returning the Gzela to the Rabbim. You got to return it to a specific person, but we can't. So he really can't become a full Baal Tshuva. Okay. We said in the Mishnah that Cheskos and Sholosh Shorim Yom Liyom. That, I didn't realize I was on call. 1 second. This is Dr. Agatstein returning your page.
Hello, doctor. It's Trisha. How are you?
Hi.
Hi. I just had a quick thing. I have a patient of Dr. Banapor. He didn't reconcile two of her home meds. It's her glipizide and metformin, and the last time she took it was the night of 7/29. Was curious if you were able to reconcile those for me.
What do you mean reconcile it? I'm not following you.
Like to approve them, for her to be able to take it through us.
Is she going home?
I wasn't told that she was gonna go home anytime.
So so you mean you want to give her these medicines? Why are you calling us? She has an internist. She has a regular, whoever the hospitalist is. We're the urologists. We don't write for glipizide and metformin and all that. Why aren't you calling the primary care doctor, the hospital? Is there a hospitalist on the case?
The only doctor she has on board is Dr. Banapor.
And that's impossible. We don't have patients on our own.
Okay.
I mean, who's the admitting attending?
Dr. Banapor.
What was this, somebody that he admitted for surgery?
Yeah, she came for her kidney stone. She had a nephrostomy tube and she did a percutaneous nephrostomy.
Okay, but there's got to be a hospitalist involved in the care. Who's dealing with the medical problems?
I wasn't wasn't told of any hospital or internalist that was part of her care. Only Dr. Vanaport.
I don't agree with you. It cannot be. It just cannot be. It cannot be. I mean, it cannot be. There's a hospitalist.
I mean, I'm looking at her chart and there's no one else besides Dr. Vanaport.
Why is there's no medical orders written by a medical doctor? There's no H&P by a medical doctor?
No, there's no other doctor besides Dr. Vanaport.
So, you're calling, I'm the on-call doctor. It's 8:00 at night. So you're calling me to come on, seriously. Okay. So we said that the chazaka goes from day to day. It's got to be 3 years from day to day. Amar Vabba. Sometimes chazaka is established in 1 day. Idale iu gufet sana de piri. There's a guy in the field who's taken possession. And the guy was claiming that it's not that guy's field. He brings a basket of fruit. Brings it to him a basket of fruit there. La'alter abi chazaka. So the guy who's in the field establishes chazaka right away, because he himself is giving him fruits from the same field. Amar Rav Zvid, but if the claimant, not the one who's the muhzik, the guy who's claiming that the guy is in the field improperly, im ta'an v'amar leperos aradativ, that he's just a sharecropper working the land. I never sold him the land. So neman, so he's believed. Animili b'toch shalosh, as long as it's within the first 3 years of eating in the field. The guy has been eating in the field for 3 years, already low. He cannot anymore say, oh, no. The only reason he's there is not because he owned the land, but really he was put there to eat the payrolls. If he was put there to work for payrolls only, so then the original owner of the field, what is he supposed to do over a 3-year period to prevent a guy who's been put in the field just to eat payrolls to establish complete ownership in the field? So within those 3 years, he has to be protesting that the reason this guy's in my field is just to harvest fruit, but not to be the owner of the field. The ilo temahachi, if you don't say that the guy has to protest, we have the following. Hani mashkanta desura. We have a loan, a shtar that documents a loan, where the lender, let's say, lent $1,000, and he would take a piece of land as collateral, and he would use it. And let's say he would derive $100 worth of payrolls a year. So after 10 years of eating payrolls, so he's eaten $1,000, he's been paid back. And he gives the field back at that time. And what's written in that start? Because of Buhu. B'mishlim shanya alan tepuk arada. At the end of this 10-year period, this land will go back to the original guy below Kesef. The other guy, the borrower who gave me this piece of land as collateral, will get it back without paying money. The problem is if the lender is going to be a trickster and he hides the shtar, the Omar Lekucha, I've been eating it for 10 years. I bought this. And he brings eating that he ate for 3 years. So Hachanami de Mehemin? So how is he going to be believed? And if so, could it be that Metakni Rabbana Midi Dave Seder? Could the Chachamim agree with Mashkanta de Surah and create this kind of instrument that could lead to financial skullduggery? Eli Boilin L'Mechuye. So everyone has to protest and explain exactly what's going on. A borrower who gave a piece of land as a collateral has to every year go there and say, oh, this guy is in the field only as a mashkon. And it's really my field. In all cases, in order to preserve your ownership, your title, you have to, yearly protest and say, yes, he's in my field because I gave a piece of collateral based on a loan, or he's in my field because I appointed him a sharecropper, and he's not in the field because he's the owner of it. Yisrael haba machmas goy. Let's say a Jew is in a piece of property because he's claiming that a non-Jew sold it to him or gave it to him. Harehu kegoy. The Yisrael who makes such a claim is treated like a non-Jew. In what way? Ma goy ein lo chazaka ela bishtar. There isn't a rule by a non-Jew that if he eats from a field for 3 years and nobody protests it belongs to him, he doesn't have chazaka. The only way a non-Jew has ownership of a piece of property is with a shtar. So af Yisrael haba machmas goy. If a Jew is in a field because he was given a gift by a goy or he bought it from a goy, ein lo chazaka ela bishtar. His only way of asserting ownership is with the shtar, not with chazaka. Amar Rava v'hi Amar Yisrael. Lididi Amar li agoy deminech zavna mehemet. Okay, we'll pick this up tomorrow. Now,
What time tomorrow?
tomorrow, Tzvika is back.